Hello, hello, it's Kim Corallo. Shut the front door too. We are a wreath door hanger vintage gift store out of Lexington, Kentucky, and today we have a thrift haul for you. We feel like we have some good things. I also feel like the thrifting game is opening up wider again. So meaning we're just finding good merch these days. Sometimes it ebbs and flows, and you thrift what you can find, and we feel very, very blessed this past week, so much so that a lot of the stuff has already gone to the booth spaces. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Well, first of all, let me just tell you that I want to shout out our Instagram and our Facebook page because we would love for you guys, if you have Instagram and Facebook and would like to follow along over there. We try to do the one video a week here, and but we post more often over on Instagram and Facebook. So if you would like to follow along, there's more content. We do a few more things like the side table displays that maybe you could pull some nuggets from and use for your own home. Okay, so here we go. The first one is the Instagram, and the second one is the Facebook, and you just screenshot it if you'd like to follow along. We'd love for you to be there. And let's get started with the reason you're here. I did try to get, so over here, I'm hoping it's in the screen enough. Ignore the faux flowers, but that piece of furniture, not the black piece, but the wood piece of furniture, we found that is a large 2-drawer dresser box. That is fabulous. We found a vintage, my words have gone. A vintage bird cage holder, and then we put a more modern bird cage with it. Second time I found one, I found another, and it's already at the booth space. We found a beautiful cabinet, really large. It's already over, but those are just things that we can't show you. But maybe, just maybe, I'll get a little bit more advanced where I can shoot up some pictures and show you guys. But I can show you this awesome little thing. Now, who doesn't need a cast iron frog? He needs to be dusted off wearing a crown. I mean, come on now. It looks like this maybe was painted at, well, I don't know. I was gonna say painted after the fact, but I'm not exactly sure because, he's dirty and dusty, but, he's painted on the bottom. And I don't know if that wasn't factory, if anyone would have gone through I wouldn't say trouble. It's no trouble to paint the bottoms, but I'm not sure people would. I'm stumped on this little beauty. I'm not exactly sure how old, sorry, I just rocked the table, which rocked the camera, how old this little guy is. He has that Majolica look. I just don't know. I'm not confident enough to say that he is a Majolica bunny, but he is awesome regardless. That just the beauty, the craftsmanship. So super glad to have picked up that little girl. I don't pick up a lot of salt and pepper shakers. I like them a lot. And I just think everyone should have, not that anyone needs to listen to me, but I think everyone should have a decorative salt and pepper shaker that they use on the daily. And these are just little silver plated, so they're little, they're cute, they would fit the bill for just about any style of home. And so I wanted to pick them up. Now, when I say I don't always pick them up, a lot of times they're porcelain or glass and they're damaged, so they have to be semi-special because I'm not going to pick up the damaged ones, but there are a lot of cute ones out there that I would pick up all the time. The little characters, the little birds, things like that. It's not often that you find a beautiful piece of cranberry Fenton glass, reverse, I think it's called reverse dot, reverse. I'll have to look that up in a thrift store, but I did. I found it and I am just in love with it. And guys, I am not a collector of Fenton. I went for the longest time where I would leave it. But when it is special, the cranberry glass, the ruffles, I'm going to call them polka dots. There's so much character there that you just don't get in new items these days, that I'm back to loving it again. And when I say I sort of passed it up, it had to be a real special piece to me, not more of the just real common ones. But I don't know that I'll leave much of it on the shelf if I find it these days, because I've gotten just a whole new appreciation of glassware again. Sterling silver pendants for the win. I found 3. I really love the red, and I would say these are 80s maybe. Super sweet star. I could see a lot of age groups loving this, the younger girls as well as you know, on up to folks my age. And the turquoise, probably my favorite, but I don't know, this next one, the black onyx, could be real close. Now, none of these came with chains, so I don't have any sterling chains. I just have the pendants, but I would think, you know, if you're interested in any of those and you don't have a chain, I would think Etsy might be a good place to look for a sterling silver chain. So I'm gathering up, not all of the Bakelite that I found, but some of the Bakelite. I just didn't pull it all out. Really love it. The black Bakelite, these have more of the square edge, and I would wear these probably together. Quick to say my favorite, but I'm also going to be quick to say that the butterscotch is more rare, and because of that, probably maybe a little bit more desirable than the black overall. But these are all 3, their tones are a little different. These are closer in tone than this one, but this one has a rounded edge. This also has a rounded edge, and well, I guess they all have sort of a rounded edge, just different thicknesses. Really super great find there. And with the Bakelite, because I was able to find several pieces, some of those will go up to Etsy, and I need to apologize, they're not up there and yet. And what I wanted to do is to not show Etsy stuff. Excuse me, guys. Not show Etsy stuff until it was up, so that I could tell you you could head on over. But I will be putting it up soon. And if you're interested in those and want to go the extra step and sending me a message or put it in the comments, I can give you all the details, sizing and pricing and all the things, and get it listed for you in a special listing even. So not a problem at all to do that. I just found those, as a matter of fact, yesterday. So I, you know, haven't gotten them photographed yet. And I'm not going to, I'm trying to move at a pace, a little quicker pace, like buy it, show it, price it, move it kind of pace. So that's the reason why I didn't hold those back. I love a basket, a handmade basket. This one is super great. It's a flat basket, so it'd be great for a gallery wall. You could put some faux flowers in there, but look at all that beautiful detail. And none of these canes are busted. I didn't see any discrepancies at all. Really happy to find it. Love that honey color as well. And let me show you a little unusual item. A pair of old shears, and I really don't know why, but I picked up some old shears really in the hopes that they would be good. These are probably sewing shears, that they would be good to use, and they were a little dull. Could have probably had them sharpened. So I threw them in with a price tag in the booth, and they went all of them. I had 3 pair. All of them went the day that I put them in. So I found these. You know, they're obviously not perfect. They are, you know, have some paint on there. They have the orange handles, which I've never seen before. I've only ever seen the black or just the all silver tone. So I was happy to find another pair. Who knows, maybe, you know, maybe the orange won't be as desirable, but they're fun to decorate with. And so that didn't scare me off for that reason. Binoculars are always a pickup. Sometimes I have gotten, I don't know a lot about binoculars, and I'll tell you that just from the get-go, because they are things that I purchased to decorate with on stacks of books, and they look really, really good. This set does come with its case, which always makes it fun. But so, you know, sometimes I've lucked out, and when I've done my research, I've learned that they're really, you know, good binoculars. But I may do the research on these and find that, you know, the brand is not as desirable, but for what I'm going to use them for, they're perfect. And if someone else likes that look, it'll be perfect for them as well. So that brings us to the next item here. A silver bread basket. I see these pretty often. I've never picked one up. And the reason why I picked this one up is because there's barely any tarnish. And if you look closely, there's some of the, you know, the arms, I'm going to call them, have a little bit of a yellow tarnish. But for the most part, it is tarnish free. So that just makes it easy. When things are heavily tarnished, I don't always look away. But when there's this much small little detail, I know the workload is going to be heavier than what I want to put into it. So I was quick to grab this because it's an easier workload for me. It's a beautiful item. Of course, you could use it for its intended purpose, but I would use it as a decorative piece. And my first thought were blue and white orbs or carpet balls, but I only have one. So I think you would need at least 3, but I did have the moss balls. So I put those in there to just kind of give you an idea of how you could put this on a side table, a shelving unit, a stack of books. And, you know, it's a really easy decorating element that, and that green gives you that pop of color. So just a little quick idea. Oh, and this is another little thing that it's a porcelain. Okay, now I'm gonna have to think because the tag when I bought it said stamp roller, and I thought, you know, how do you put your stamps on there? That's not exactly what it is. It is, you would put water in the bottom vessel, and then you would put the roller, and then it would moisten your, oh, I don't like that word, but it would get the envelopes wet, or your stamps, or whatever you're trying to seal, and it would be a quicker process. So if you had several to do, I of course just liked the aesthetic part of it, and would use this on a shelving unit in some way to decorate with. One of my very favorite finds of the week. I did not do any research on any of my items, and so I'm assuming this is a wooden pencil holder. I mean, that's probably what I will market it for, but the inlay of the woods and the colorway, everything about it to me was so striking. And I'm going to show you this next piece of art because I did not get these at the same time, but I think they would really look good together, kind of all paired together. There's several things that I picked up this week that at different places that I thought could really pair well together. I'm never, if it's in my price range, ever going to leave equestrian art. I love this piece of art. It's a print. It's professionally framed and matted. It has the gold frame. But I could see these styled, you know, if you did like the top of a shelf and then you had this paired with it on some books. I could see that together, and that's why I wanted to show you the two items together. And why not just go with the horse theme? Another thing that I am probably never leaving behind are any horse-related items. I live in Lexington, Kentucky. We are considered the horse capital of the world, and I dig them, and I know nothing about horses. I've lived here my whole life, and but I love to decorate with horses, and I think this would be something that a lot of people would like. Now, this one, couldn't really find any information on him. He's older, but he's not that old because it's some kind of a composite resin material, but he's in great shape. There's no condition issues, and again, the color, the colorway, everything was just a win-win. Let's go ahead and show you the other piece of art that I got because it's right here. It is also a print, and I didn't do any research. There's some information here that I can't even really read that from this distance, but I loved this horse. I think the horse is beautiful. I think the colorway, this oak frame, everything about it to me was perfect for, you know, an office, study, my home. If you guys don't love it, I'll just keep it. Okay, you've heard me say it a lot. If it's weird and quirky, I'm drawn to it, and I'm probably not gonna leave it. Sometimes odd and quirky is the very first thing that goes out of a booth or an Etsy store or any of the avenues of which I sell. And that is because I think they're conversation pieces. I think people like things that are funny, and I don't know, maybe there's just a lot of people out there that are like me that are kind of just drawn to it. I have had this piece before, so I knew exactly what it was. I wasn't scared to pick it up because he is quirky, he is odd, and he is a tissue cover, and the tissues come out of his nose. So he quickly went into my cart because even if all you wanted to do, you didn't want to use him for his intended purpose, but you wanted to use him on a shelving unit, he has a lot of character on his own, and then this colorway is just really good. So, you know, wasn't scared at all to take another chance on a little weirdo, shouldn't say that for those of you that may already have this in your home. You're thinking, oh, don't call my tissue holder a weirdo, but you know, he quickly went into my cart. Love Asian pottery, that sort of chinoiserie. I don't know how come I just said it that way. I don't know if I'm even pronouncing it anywhere near. I've heard so many different people pronounce it different ways that I'm not even sure. However, I've never been corrected, so maybe I'm close. I love it. I love it a lot. And this colorway is my very favorite. Probably the favorite overall is blue and white, but I love the depth of this, the black background, and then all of the colors. I just think it's remarkably stunning. Okay, let's go ahead with another piece of glass. And that is this beautiful art vase. It's a narrow opening, so it would hold 1 or 2 stems. I don't know. I just think the colorway and the sides and the way it dimples in, I don't even know. And I'm a big lover of vases and flowers and all the things. I don't even know if I wouldn't just use it just like this. I think it's an art form on its own without even using it as its intended purpose. And needs a bath in the most desperate way. But I don't, this is an older one. The glass and brass, you know, sometimes this one's more of a, it's got that sort of house shape, but I don't know what you would call this, a cloche maybe, like, so you would put maybe a little plant or something in there, even some small, you know, figurines to house them to add another element to the decoration part of it. Terrain maybe is what you would call this. I have found these open, like more like planters. I just don't ever pass them up. And the reason why is because folks tend to really love it. I think this style of thing was popular 70s, probably, maybe even 80s. And I just think it sparks a lot of memories for people. I think it was probably one of those types of things that, you know, a lot of homes had them in their home. Another piece of glass. I did feel like this was heavy on the glass. You know, like I said, you know, we as thrifters, and if you're a thrifter, you know this, you don't really go, you may go out with hoping to find something, but the stuff finds you. You don't really find the stuff. And I saw this and was really hoping I could get to it first. And I am not a competitive thrifter. You know, I cheer my friends on that are in this business. They cheer me on. You know, I would tell them, hey, you know, so-and-so has this and it's a great price. You know, do you want it? Those types of things. But this has special memory to me. My mom did not have this item, but my mom loved strawberries. And so anything strawberry is near and dear. And I love it. And this is a fused glass dish. It is signed, but I cannot read the signature. A lot of these fused glass pieces are Peggy Carr. Pick up Peggy Carr. This one does not look like her signature. It looks like the first letter is a D. And then, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, and then a line. And then the date says 1991. So I don't know. I didn't do research yet. I don't know if I'll find the actual artist who did this, but whoever you are, it is my favorite piece that I've ever found. And I think it's the sweetest, just pop of color. You know, summer is right here upon us, and I am here for it. I think that I've said in other videos that our winter was long. And when I say long, it was long, and I love winter. So I'm trying not to complain, but I am, for the first time, I am looking more forward to summer than you'll ever hear me say, because when it gets hot, it's hard on me. My body does better in the wintertime. Guys, for the last item, this is a hammered bowl, almost a taco shape. It does stand. It does have a little, I mean, it sits on its own. It does have a little bit of a rocking to it. At first, I thought it could be to a scale, but there's no holes or anything. And when you think it would have had some way, maybe it set into a contraption some way. Maybe one of you guys know what it is or what it was used for. For me, it's going to be something that I think looks great. It has that kind of moody vibe to it to me. I think it's copper. It could be brass, but it looks more like copper than brass to me, and I think it would be fantastic with some blue and white or some moss balls, and it does sit on its own. Guys, that is it. That is all we have for you today. We hope you enjoyed it. We hope that if you don't follow, that you will hit that subscribe button and follow along. This is primarily what we do here on our channel, but we're wanting to branch out a little bit, and we're going to do a little bit more salon and booth styling. So yeah, that's it. That's all we have for you today. Go have the very best day. We will talk to you really, really soon.